What's going on? It's your dog Art Man Boxing. We're back with another boxing conversation. Hold on, my camera a little blurry. Shit. Oh, yeah. We're back with another boxing conversation. Dude, I woke up to the most funniest news ever. Literally, like, I just woke up, opened my eyes, got up, brushed my teeth, looked at my phone, noticed that I was tagged in a post. And I said, hold on, let me see what this says. Let me see what this says. Let me just take a look at it. I opened it and I seen a screenshot of an interview, ES News interview. And the headline says, it's clearly Eddy Reynoso in the picture, but the headline says, African American fighters are difficult to fight. Reynoso on Valdez versus Stevenson. God damn. I said, dude, it's just that easy. I wasn't like surprised or like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Oh shit, my bad. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that or no shit like that. It was just so what are you guys gonna say now? Honestly. What are you gonna say now? Because obviously Art Man isn't as crazy as you think he is. I've been telling y'all. I've been telling y'all for the longest. Boxing is about race, nationality, and pride. Race is always going to be talked about in all activities in the world. Let's be real. What activity in the world do racism don't dominate? Let's be real. It's racism in every sport. Football, motherfucking boxing, wherever, even NASCAR. Shit. I mean, let's be real. It's everywhere. It's at school, it's at business, it's at the job, everywhere. So for you guys to act like boxing excludes that, it's just crazy. But anyways, Reynoso, if there's a way that you can make your fighter look terrible, that is a perfect way of doing it. He admitted that his fighter, Oscar Valdez, basically has no chance against Shakur Stevenson because I just don't know how to deal with him. Yes, I know, I understand. I'm Reynoso, trainer of the year, 2 times in a row over Derek James, over his 2 unified champions who's not taking drugs. But anyways, yeah, I'm such a good Hall of Fame trainer, but I can't teach my fighter Shakur Stevenson how to beat a black fighter. That style is just too hard. That don't sound like a trainer of the year, even if it's true. You know what I'm saying? Even if you feel that way. You don't let nobody know that. Especially you don't let the competition know. That's how you know the nigga's so full of Canelo. He ain't really giving a fuck about Valdez. He like Valdez. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. I don't got a game plan, honestly, y'all. And it makes you wonder, right? Them type of comments make you wonder. If he feels that way about Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez, maybe just maybe does he think like this when it comes to Canelo Alvarez? Yeah, it makes you wonder, huh? It really does. Because I was taught actions speak a lot of words. Actions speak louder than words I meant. And it's true. We've seen Canelo actions whenever it came to a black fight. Let's just bring up the 154 situation with Andre. Andre had a belt. Canelo didn't want to fight him. And then what happened? Andre left the division or dropped the belt somehow. Next thing you know, Canelo's fighting Beefy for the motherfucking belt. Beefy, a European. You know what I'm saying? Snatch that up. We let him slide on that shit. And then it goes to Charlo and the Charlo twins, you know what I'm saying? Charlo fights everybody in the WBC, ranking at 160 in the top 10. Beats these guys And then he doesn't even get the opportunity to be Canelo's mandatory. They took that away from him by giving him the belt and making Canelo some type of fake ass champion. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? The action shows that the guy he's skipping around the tough black fighters, black American fighters to be specific, undefeated. Because when we say black fighters, these motherfuckers talk about Kirkland. Nigga, we talking about motherfuckers who are undefeated in their prime. And you know who I'm talking about. Andre and Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. But Eddie Reynoso, he exposed himself. He exposed himself. He really did. Because it makes me think like, nigga, are you really the trainer of the year that you say you are? But my dude says salute to the guy, Art Man Boxing fam. Yeah, shout out to everybody. We just in here cooking up, man. He said finna start some shit. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But my thing is, it's like this. I'm glad that the news came out because now we can stop acting like it doesn't, now it's like you guys can't pull that front anymore that, oh, Canelo ain't ducking black fighters. These guys they suck. They ain't shit. They ain't that. Well, you guys are saying this, but the motherfucker Reynoso ain't saying the same thing. Reynoso's sitting back like, yo, check this out, man. These guys are tough to beat. They're tough opponents. But give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, my bad. My fucking bad. But here come the fucking trolls and the haters already. Says Andre must be scared of black American fighters too then. Nah, but why does he have to fight black American fighters? I mean, if Canelo said he doesn't have to fight any Mexicans because that's from his country, he's looking at it as like a team sport. Why do Charles and them gotta fight each other? How come they can't just fight white dudes and fight Canelo? You see that? Now, when we start using that type of logic, it's a problem. It's a big problem. Oh no, what do you mean? Nah, what does Canelo mean? Said, but Andre been trying to fight everybody. He just been forced to fight Mandos. Don't play dumb. And that's why I say they go into that spoiled, they act like a spoiled white kid because they're like, oh, well, ha ha, it's not my fault that I'm privileged. It's not Canelo's fault that he gets to fight whoever he wants. And Charlo and Andre, they just got to fight whoever's left. Ha ha. You know what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. But let's keep it 100. My dude says, My dude Dion says Andre fought and beat 3 undefeated black American fighters. That's more than Canelo has ever fought. And Charlo both ducked Laura. Nah. Oh, that's Pablo. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold on, man. Let me see if we can get Pablo on here for a quick second. Hold on 1 second. Because he wasn't one of those guys that was quiet today because I'm gonna keep it 100. When I dropped that I even dropped the audio of the video uh and posted the screenshot. These dudes was quiet, man. The same people that will argue you down the day before and say, "Hey man, boxing not about race, nah nah nah," and nobody looks at, I don't see color, I don't see color, all these I don't see color ass motherfuckers, bro. Let's be real. We look at boxing fans. We look at boxers based off race, bro. You know the difference between a white fighter and a black fighter. You know the difference between a Cuban fighter and an American fighter. You know the difference between a Mexican fighter and I don't, bro. Stop this. I don't see color shit, dude. That's just so corny. If you don't see it, motherfucker, I do. We do. Catch up. Stop playing games. Said Laura and Charlo are literally sparring partners. They would treat Charlo like shit if he beat Laura at his age, especially after that hurt L. Exactly. Exactly. Said, why can't Charlo and Andre fight each other? They don't have to fight each other. Why should they fight each other? Y'all said they both trash. They're both equally trash. What would they get? What would they get fighting each other? Y'all just mad that Art Man been calling y'all bullshit out. Canelo is going to be the only Mexican boxer in Mexican boxing history that is becoming a boxing legend fighting white opponents. And yes, y'all gonna say, oh, nah, but you can't argue that because at the end of the day, when you compare your boy Cesar Chavez Sr. and Juan Marquez's resume to Canelo's resume, you're gonna sit back and say, you know what I'm saying, Canelo, he did make a lot of money, but wait, you're not touching that money. So what is that? What does that tell you? That your guy, he doesn't really have the legacy. I'm doing this for legacy. He doesn't really have that lit legacy. Yeah, he made a lot of money in the sport, of course. Salute to him. I take my hat off to that. You making your money and you know what I'm saying, keeping your brains. Salute to you for that. But when we talking about us boxing fans and we're looking at the sport at the end of the day, we're not going to be putting Canelo's name up there next to Cesar Chavez Sr. and Juan Marquez and Oscar De La Hoya because all those Mexican guys, they fought the black guys. They fought them. Win, lose, or draw. Yeah, Canelo fought a black guy. Floyd Mayweather lost. But he never ran it back. He never ran it back with that. He never ran it back with Laura. You know what I'm saying? He never fucking ran it back with whoever. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, why say you're chasing greatness when the greatness is right in front of you? You know you come from Mexico, man. Canelo was a child watching motherfucking Mildred Taylor versus Chavez Sr. You tell me you want to grow up and become a champion like that, beating the skilled, undefeated black American and snatching the belt? You don't want that? Psh, man, I don't care what nobody say. Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo or Benavidez is a much, much bigger fight than Canelo versus Bivol, Kovalev, Plant, Sanders, all of them. You know why? Because America loves a good old black American skilled versus a Mexican. Let's be real. The statistics shows it. You know what I'm saying? The numbers show it. You know, numbers, I like to say numbers don't fucking lie when it comes to that. Hold on, let me see. He said Marquez's resume is still one of the greatest in Mexican boxing history. Yeah, and they want to compare motherfucking wins over who does nigga knock out? I forgot. Oh yeah, knockout win over Pacquiao. Over Pacquiao. Juan Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. Canelo knocked out Billy Joe Saunders. You wouldn't say that's comparable? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's be real. What's going on, brother Julius?
Hey, Art, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
Chilling,
I'm just,
man.
I'm just enjoying my day, man.
I
Um,
feel you. Hey, close the door back there. Yeah, man.
He said if Canelo started his career in America, he'd have had so many L's. Yeah, he learned the ropes beating up on old guys, kill them in the process.
And
I
I
mean,
mean,
I ain't lying about that. I ain't trying to, say I'm
I,
making up shit.
I saw the exchange you had with people today, and they love for Canelo, and you know, and what was said by his trainer and everybody, and I got a little bit of that backlash too today. I was told that I was a hater that give him no credit. Look, I have always said, in this era of average fighters, Canelo is good enough to cherry pick guys bigger than him or smaller because he can fight. Um, he's not beating no, what I'm saying, no Hall of Fame level fighters. I mean, he ain't going out there knocking out Mayweather. He's not knocking out Laura's. He's not knocking out any of those guys, but he's knocking out, BJ and Caleb Plant. Those are average fighters. And
Let
I
me
don't
tell you
understand
though,
why people
why
get upset about
why he wasn't knocking out Chavez Jr. I had a
it.
fan tell me that it
Yeah.
was out of respect.
So when a guy don't knock someone out, it's out of respect.
No, it's
Oh,
out of
okay.
respect to his father.
Yeah, right. Canelo don't care nothing about that, bro. You don't care
Canelo
nothing
just,
about
I
that.
heard Canelo just basically tell Mike Tyson he don't give a damn what Mike Tyson think about him.
And that's probably true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I believe him. I don't think he care. So if he don't care about Mike Tyson, when he gonna start caring about Julio Cesar Chavez, senior or junior? Care nothing about those guys, man. Why he didn't knock out Danny Jacobs? That's a question. Why Danny Jacobs? Why he didn't knock out Triple G?
I
I
have
mean,
no idea.
we still believe he beat that Triple G beat him in that first fight. Why he didn't stop Cotto?
Why he ain't stop Shane Mosley?
There you go. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
he grown into his power. He's more dedicated now.
oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
people. Mhm.
I had a dude tell me that Canelo is the most dedicated boxer in boxing because he stays in the gym. I said, man, how can you say that when the man been caught with performance enhancing drugs? And there's guys like Bud Crawford who stays in the gym who never been caught up with drugs.
Facts. And I mean, I think a lot of it is what guys want to believe in a guy or in a fighter. He believes in him, so he's willing to accept, you know, uh, whatever his shortcomings is, and they overlook it. You know what I'm saying? No one want to look at, say they love Tyson Fury. They're gonna omit his cocaine use or his steroid use. Same thing they doing with Canelo. They omitting it. It's like it didn't happen. And the worst part of it is this isn't Canelo. I may be willing to give him a pass if he was 38 or 37 years old and he used something, a diuretic or something like that, because he can't physically do it like that no more. He was an old man. This was in his prime. This was in his prime. This was something already in his system. That means that just like he's a professional fighter, he's a professional drug user. We got him. They're out here, man.
Bro, they're out here. Speaking of that, so I work.
What's up, D Hop?
Shout out to Dion, but I
What's
work in
cracking,
healthcare.
y'all?
I'm not gonna tell you where, but I work in
Right.
healthcare, right?
Me
And
too,
today I
bro.
seen
Mm-hmm.
a medication, fentermine.
Mm-hmm.
It says
Oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
for weight loss,
that's
Right.
that
and I
T.
said, "Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm.
And you telling me this is in tea? No, no fucking way.
And it's not over the counter, right? You have to be
It's not
prescribed
over
that,
the
No,
right?
you
counter,
gotta get
nigga.
prescribed that thing.
You got to get it
Exactly.
Hey,
prescribed.
hey, hey, look, man.
You got to tell the casuals because they don't be knowing shit. They be
Right.
Bro, I
fucking.
sat
They
there.
they they be 16 not knowing how the world works.
I sat there and told my coworker, I said, you know, there's a boxer who claimed he was on this and it was in his teeth. And Jill's like, ain't no fucking way.
Hey, look, man, it's just like those Russian athletes, you
Man,
know, taking the steroid with the I'm not for sure the name, but I know that it's for high blood pressure. And I'm like, all these 20-something-year-old athletes got high blood pressure? Because
what
that's
was
just
the
what
name
they
of the
use.
medication?
Huh?
You don't know the name?
No, I don't know the name, but it's something very prominent. Maria Sharapova, the tennis player,
All
tested positive
right.
for it.
Right.
A Russian wrestler, Russian boxers have all tested positive for it. It's their drug, like clenbuterol is for Mexico. So you know, if you well schooled in it, Pablo, then bring up that one. That
Right.
we could
I
Google it.
sent Pablo the link.
Yeah, we could Google it
Right.
as far as the Sharapova thing.
Yeah, you got if you really want an argument, you don't have to run around telling everybody you fucking won. But let me address this. So we keep going back to this undefeated champion bullshit. All right. Andrade and Charlo were both undefeated champions in both fucking divisions Canelo was in. He didn't want no part of them. Not all we got. But here's the thing. Y'all keep saying that the only reason why Canelo lost to Mayweather is because of youth and inexperience, principally inexperience, because he had been cooking people up until that point. Okay, so let's
Right.
say that's true. Let's say if he has some more experience that he would come back and beat Mayweather. Okay, fine, whatever. You have to understand, you have to now apply that dumbass logic to every single fighter that Canelo has beat. Every single fighter, every single undefeated champion, quote unquote, that you claim is good. The reason why they fucking lost is because they hadn't fought shit, and their first step up fight was Canelo Alvarez, which you claim is the best in the world. So that means that the only reason why Canelo looks so dominant is not because he's skilled, not because he is the best fighter in the world, not because he has all these advantages, but because the individuals he was fighting simply hadn't been exposed to that level of competition.
Right.
That's why Canelo does not talk to you, because you guys are the worst PR representatives in boxing. You guys are fucking dumb, and you make Canelo look like a bitch. That's why he doesn't talk to you. Because the thing is, once you say something stupid like that, you have to now apply it to everybody. And I know you guys aren't huge fans of keeping the same energy, but let me tell you, Smith, fucking Plant, Saunders, all these people. Now you have to accept the fact that the only reason why they lost is because they were either fucking thoroughly washed like Kovalev, or they had never fought anybody to the caliber that Canelo Alvarez, which is why they lost. And then Canelo would have to beat these people again to prove that he's really that guy, like y'all made Mayweather do with Corrales and Maidana and all those motherfuckers. But damn all that, because y'all are fucking retarded anyway. Damn all that. But and the thing about it is, you want to talk about being undefeated and fighting black fighters. Mayweather made sure to pay plenty of Latino fighters everything they were worth. Do you know how many motherfuckers were picked to stop Mayweather? He couldn't ever say, oh, someone priced themselves out, or someone didn't deserve a bag, or all that fucking nonsense. He never had the luxury of that. And when people called for a rematch, goddamn it, he had to give him a rematch. I mean, shit, he's known as a coward today. He's known as, you guys call him a cherry picker today. So it really doesn't matter. But you guys don't keep the same energy. And like I've said multiple times before, my biggest beef with Canelo Alvarez is not what the fuck his career, like, I don't care about his career. My biggest beef is that he's politically fucking up the sport to where after he's gone, I'm still going to be dealing with this shit.
You hear Ortiz. You hear what Ortiz is saying.
His stupid ass is going to get knocked out by the first person that lands a straight punch on him. Not only is his chin vulnerable, but he doesn't move his fucking head.
I'm talking about what he said. The comments he said.
That, oh, they want a big ass payday. What?
They just want a payday from me. I'm like, dude, what?
But let me say this too, to add on to what y'all saying, man. It's a privilege and an honor to have everybody wanting to fight you. You can't say to everybody that wants to fight you, oh, why don't y'all just fight each other? No, don't. Why y'all want to fight me? Why y'all want your biggest payday? It is an honor. You heard Mayweather. You heard Oscar De La Hoya before him. You heard Ray Leonard before him, and Sugar Ray Robinson and whoever. They all embrace people wanting to fight them. That means you're the best. You don't say, why don't y'all just fight everybody? Get away from me. Leave me alone and go over there in that corner. No, because when you reach that point in boxing, that means you're the absolute best. When everybody want to fight you, regardless of your style. You get what I'm saying? Right. And this guy, instead of embracing it, he going with that crazy narrative that these other people going with. Hey, why don't you, fight someone else? Because he's going with the duck talk. Now, let me say this. I'm not calling Bivol a duck fight, okay? I'm not. But Canelo could feel so, great about his skills that he feel that Bivol may be a duck. And I'm not the highest person on Bivol. But what if Bivol wins? Then it's a cherry pick gone wrong. But I don't feel that Bivol is a cherry pick, okay? But I'm just saying the way that Canelo answered that question and talked about that, the true statement came from his manager and his trainer, Eddy Reynoso, when he said something about Black Americans. This is something I said on the show before. Black Americans don't like fighting Black Americans. So you know that Mexican American don't, especially one with slow feet.
And they keep on saying, why hasn't Floyd and Tank? And well, shit, nigga.
But look at what they say.
You know why?
Look at what they say.
Floyd beat a lot of good black fighters. You know what I'm saying? Throughout his career.
He beat Zab Judah, DeMarcus Corley, Shane Mosley. He beat a lot of them.
Sean Mitchell.
Right, but the thing is about the
Diego Corrales.
The thing is about the undefeated situation. The thing about the undefeated situation is back in the day, niggas was fighting. And when you're consistently fighting the top dogs, you're gonna take some fucking L's. Floyd and like, Floyd is a once in a lifetime type of deal. He was fortunate enough to be skilled enough and pick the people and pick the people that was necessary to get him to where it is. Floyd is an abnormality. But the real reason why a lot of people had L's back in the day is because niggas was scrapping on the regular. Do you know how many tough fights Marquez, Pacquiao, Judah, all the motherfuckers were in there with? And not to mention, as they got older, they didn't duck smoke. They took some more smoke.
The reason that Zab Judah had a brain injury was because of all the killers that he fought.
He was fighting.
I mean, think about it. At 140, before he got in the ring with Costa Zoo, he had already fought Bergman, a tough South African. He had already fought Junior Witter, a tough English guy, black English fighter. They got that fight sort of like in the style of Terrence Crawford. And he had fought Teron Millette, the champion. So the guy had already fought.
Question?
What's that?
Look at him. He's using Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a perfect example of what the fuck we're talking about. Ryan Garcia is a bitch.
Hold up a second. Did he say Victor Ortiz?
Victor Ortiz.
I'm reading that wrong. Hold on. Let me see.
He's getting over. He's referring to Virgil Ortiz.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. He used two fucking ducks. Let me break it down. Ryan Garcia uses these dudes' names for clout, was literally the mandatory for Devin Haney, didn't want to fight him. Tank slid his ass a contract, didn't want to sign the shit. Next, Virgil Ortiz Jr. has been the number one contender for both the WBC and the WBO. But what happened?
Turn down fights.
Thank you. Sean Porter was the number two. Sean Porter was the number 2 for the WBO. Why? And he got the Crawford fight. Why? Because Virgil wasn't pressing his Mando status because he would get his ass beat. The same goes for Virgil. The same goes for Errol Spence Jr. And you know what? He actually had a title eliminator that was mandated by the WBC for David Avanesian. He turned that down. Why? High risk. Wanted to fight a motherfucker with 2 knockouts who's ranked number 3 in the WBO, as opposed to number 2, which is Jerome Boots Ennis. Why? Because he get his ass beat.
Yeah, Boots would beat him.
So you use 2 horrible examples.
Right.
David Benavidez, you want to talk about that? Charlo's still a champion at 160. When he moves up to 168 and doesn't fight the nigga, then he ducking.
And also, let me say this, man. David Benavidez, I don't believe that Canelo necessarily is afraid of him, but I do believe that Canelo sidestepped him. So you should be talking about Canelo with David Benavidez because Benavidez was the WBC champion forever. Canelo didn't even talk about the WBC. As a matter of fact, we all talk about the comment. He said he don't want to fight Mexicans, right?
Convenient.
So now when Charlo or one of them say, I don't want to fight a black fighter or I don't want to fight no Mexican, then we should jump on him. So don't talk about Charlo in that situation because I'm gonna have to, refute that because we got the evidence that David Benavidez was ducked by Canelo.
Yeah, and if I have to put the article in the chat to clear up the Durham situation again, I'll put it in the chat because I'm so tired of dealing with that bullshit nonsense. The Athletic literally sat down and got a bunch of quotes from Mauricio Suleiman himself and outlined the situation. Boots has called out everybody, and the thing of it is, even if he hadn't, Virgil Ortiz Jr., I don't care if it's right now or 4 years from now. If Boots is not in a horrific accident that he has to recover from, Boots is going to beat the living shit out of Virgil Ortiz Jr. And there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is make sure they never fight.
Well, here's the thing, and it's crazy. If I was Virgil Ortiz, I would have went on and took that mandatory because Errol Spence been in a horrific car accident. He still didn't want to fight him.
Alvanesian's coming off of Kelly win and looks scary.
Yeah, exactly. And Kelly, and look, I hate to bring up my man Bread Man on this one. But Bread been on Chocolito, and he also been on Josh Kelly. He was talking about Josh Kelly looked like a white Mayweather. And I agree. He looked like white Mayweather, whoever white Mayweather is, because it sure ain't Floyd Mayweather. He looked exactly like white Mayweather. So I'm just saying, man, eventually everybody gonna have to fight everybody. Look, let's do it.
And the common argument is, well, Virgil Ortiz Jr. fought Mean Machine. Mean Machine stopped Albanese in the 6 rounds. I'm like, okay, cool. So whoop his ass and then fight Spence.
Right.
What are we doing?
Because he don't want that jab and them body shots to stop him. Because that's what's going to happen if he fight Errol Spence.
Oh, yeah. Virgil Ortiz Jr. loses to Crawford and Spence right now, and his team knows that. That's why.
By the way, Errol Spence looked in real good shape with his shirt off when him and Ugas got together. Now, look, I know he training with the other guy, but I mean, I'm just stating facts. Errol Spence is in shape. He's in fighting shape right now. You know what I'm saying?
And I hope all y'all out there gassing Ugas up, talking about eye injury and all that. Keep doing it. Keep doing it because I want Ugas to be reckless as fuck when he get in there so he can get slumped out so I don't have to watch the whole 12 rounds.
Well, don't worry about that. Ugas is not gonna. Let me say this. Ugas can fight, but if Ugas get down in that fight, he's not gonna try to win by knockout. Ugas will be content with taking a 12-round decision loss. Mark my words on this. Dennis Ugas will not sell out to get a knockout. He will be content with losing a 12-round fight where he got in there and did some exchanges, and you will say, man, Ugas gave a good try, and he's content with that.
Hell yeah. You saw what happened when Abel Ramos touched his ass. He boxed him for the rest of the fight. He was like, oh, okay, I need to be careful with this one. I'm like, dude, Abel Ramos not even that good.
Why he didn't get reckless in that Manny Pacquiao fight? See what I'm saying? You had a 40-some-year-old man in the ring.
Still had his face lumped up.
Man, he looked like he had got in a car accident.
The moment Spence touch him with that power, he's gonna be like Danny Garcia the rest of the fight. He's gonna just be chilling out, trying to jab a little, not get his ass completely broke off.
Content to lose a decision.
Yep, because that's exactly what happened to Danny Garcia. In the third or fourth round, Danny Garcia got hit with that body shot. He was like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and back up some. That's ridiculous.
The thing that shocks people when they fight Errol Spence is that you don't know how good technically he is because you see him earlier in his career blowing guys out. So guys be thinking that he just is a train. He just run through you. But in the end, Earl Spence got a little bit of Marvin Hagler in him. Like he don't look the part of no great boxer. And then you get in the ring with him and you figure out, man, I can't outbox this guy, which is what I said would happen if him and Bud fight. That if Earl Spence is right, Earl Spence jab can win that fight. You know what I'm saying? So
and deceptive power. And when people talk about deceptive power, they're talking about Errol Spence. Because I will admit, if I was a casual and I didn't watch Errol Spence's career, I would think he was nothing special. I would think he was slow. I would think he couldn't punch that hard. But apparently, professional fighters disagree. They're like, they're like, oh shit, let me go ahead and back up some.
Absolutely.
This, right. And and it's just like what Sean Porter said. Sean Porter just after the Terrence Crawford fight actually said that Spence hits harder. Now, when Sean Porter said that, everyone's like, nah, man, Porter don't know what the hell you're talking about. Shut the fuck up and sit down. But when he said Boots is overrated, all of a sudden everyone was like, we should listen to the two-time welterweight champion of the world. I'm like, oh.
He was just on the show.
Yeah. Right.
And people forget that when Earl Spence knocked him down with that counter left hand, Sean Porter eyes closed. Head spin around, his eyes shut for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then he came back as he fell. So I'm telling you, man, that, it's easy for us on the outside to say this guy ain't hitting hard, but we ain't in there feeling it. So, I don't know why they don't want to believe Sean. But look, the name of that drug is melatonin.
Oh, well, who was using that shit?
And Russian athletes, a lot of them. And it's used for heart condition, such as someone that had heart failure or a heart attack before. It's an inhibitor, So yeah, it's
using it.
Right. It alters and is involved in your fat metabolism. Used to give you energy while you're losing weight.
Oh, okay. So our man be talking about stank on you. He be talking about
and I'm telling you, it's prevalent with Russian athletes. Like you can pull it up in Google, and it got a whole list. And I'm talking about from all different countries. I mean, all different sports of different Russian athletes that tested positive for this. I'm talking about track, tennis, boxing, like. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? I always say if a guy from Russia, you got to test him. Like Kovalev, you got to test him. When he went through that war, when he was fighting Andre Ward and all them guys, was he really clean?
Oh, probably not. Because he was at the point in his career, he was slumping everyone. Like he was laying everybody to rest. People. Yeah, he was laying everybody to rest until Andre Ward got in there and put some heat on his ass. And
he fought Ward on the juice and still lost.
I think he was juicing that first fight.
Of course. And the thing is, people talk about the roughhouse tactics and stuff. I'm like, bro, when you fight a nigga on juice, what you supposed to do? You can't get in there and play nice with him.
You can't finesse him.
You can't sit there and try to Mayweather every goddamn body. No, you got to get in and show him what it is. You got to get on his ass. You got to smother him. You can't. What you want to do? Him stand perfectly in range and let Kovalev get his best punches off? I'm like, God, no.
Yeah. But that's why I said that's their drug, just like the Mexican athlete's drug is clenbuterol. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what's our drug?
I mean, that's the great thing about America. We got all type of stuff. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's certain sports I think is more prevalent with drug use with athletes. I mean, track and field, I think, is the one, in cycling.
Yeah, and as far as boxing goes, with black folks, it's mostly just things that either boost testosterone or some anti-aging like HGH. That's mostly it.
Yep.
And the thing is, we're not condoning that, but in the current era of in current active boxers, most of the drug test failures have come from either Eastern European or Latino athletes. That's just is what it is. You can talk about James. You can talk about that one time James Toney failed the test before everybody.
How old was James Toney too?
Oh, I don't even know, bro. This was like 1987. I don't know what the fuck that was.
No, and here's the other thing about him when he tested positive for the drug. He really didn't even test positive for the drug. The drug had been used when he had tore his bicep They had to put that in him when they gave him surgery. He took the fight 5 months later or 6 months later. It was still, traces were still in his system. This ain't Julius making this up to protect James Toney. This is documented. You know how people always believe something on Google? Google it. It'll come up exactly how I said it. The guy tore his bicep. They used that steroid in him after surgery and during surgery. And when he tested positive for traces that came from the surgery.
And I believe you because the shit, I'm younger than our man, so this shit happened before I was probably born. So I don't know. Like they always do that. They always got to go back to before they were even alive and say, well, you know, and that's how you know they specifically Googled it. They probably got together one day and typed in black fighters that have failed drug tests just so they could talk some shit. Because I'm like,
I got them so mad. I got them so mad that these motherfuckers are saying Shakur Stevenson is on pads.
Oh my God.
I saw that fool today say that Shakur was bigger.
He walks around at 190. How is he able to get How is he able to get down to 130?
They're describing. My thing is, I'd be like, nigga, you describing Canelo Alvarez.
That's what we said. Like,
what the fuck you worried about it for? Shit, that's what I mean. They worried that it might actually be a 50-50 fight. They're like, shit, Stevenson look big in the motherfucker. Shit, I mean, what if he on some shit? I'm like, then good. I'm glad Stevenson's on some shit. That means it's gonna be
50-50. Right.
Shit. Actually, what am I saying? It's already 60-40 right now. It's gonna be 90-10. Stevenson.
Well, here's the thing. I think that Reynoso is seeing that, man, it's difficult getting ready for Shakur Stevenson.
Especially I got all this camera. I got all this video footage I gotta do. I gotta do this interview. I gotta go fly out with Canelo. I got time to
I have said before, man, Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter 25 and under because he got all the skills boxing wise and he don't get hit. He can stand right in front of these guys and not get hit. The man is straight up, man. To me, he's a top 5 pound for pound fighter in the world right now.
Yeah, and if Valdez want to have any sort of chance, he got to do the same strategy I told Charlo. He better fucking come in bombing. You better just jump. You better just bomb because it's gonna be over with. If you don't get a good punch in them first 3 rounds, bro, you might as well go ahead and pack it up. You might as well go ahead and pack it up because it's not gonna work. You're just gonna get beat up. You're just gonna be tired.
That's it.
But my thing
where that T at?
Hold on. My thing is,
you got
I
the
would
T?
be so upset as a fighter if my coach is telling the world that it's hard to train me to be a skilled black fighter. It's like you're already throwing in the towel. You're saying that I really have no choice because you can't teach me how to beat him.
Yeah.
Well, Bob Arum already exposed the duckery, so they figured they might as well just give niggas some props because their fans are racist. They figured they got to even that shit out some. They're like, well, since Bob Arum already gave up the juice, we might as well go ahead and give black people some credit.
Man, if I was Valdez, I wouldn't even be training to outbox Stevenson. I would be training to throw a fucking haymaker. You know what I'm saying? Some wild shit. I'll be training to throw crazy overhand rights.
Let me say this
up on shots because you're not gonna outbox them.
Yeah, I think it's best because that ain't gonna work. Shakur see that. But what he could do is try to get in the inside and be a rough and tumble, Orlando Salido, Jose Luis Castillo. Well, no, not Jose Luis Castillo. He could really fight. Alejandro Sanabria, type fighter. You get what I'm saying? Where he get in there and just make it ugly, tackle guys, do whatever.
And that's what
Lucipo Espinosa, some type like that.
Go in there, try to rough them up.
Yeah.
And throw haymakers, throw some wild shit.
See if it'll work. Hit him in the back.
You saying Valdez can't fight?
No, Valdez can't really fight like that.
Oh, shit.
No,
damn, man. Julius be fucking cooking people out here, man. The nigga can't fight.
Hey, but I don't be trying to cook them. I just look at them technically, and I could just tell you, man, this guy can't fight, man.
Damn.
Look, it was an old guy that took me up under his wings some 30 years ago, right? named Bobby Miles. So he taught me a lot about boxing and training guys and looking at guys, and what they can do. He used to train a guy that Roberto Duran beat up when he was old, and David Moore, his name David Moore. He won the 154-pound title, WBA junior middleweight title when they could fight. And here's the crazy part about it. David Moore, when Bobby was training him, was a 6-round fighter. Okay. He fought for top rank. He was a 6-round fighter. He had fought 4s and 6s, 10 fights. The champion fell out of the fight at junior middleweight, 154 pounds. They went to him and asked him in his 11th fight, hey, on short notice, do you want to take a title fight? He didn't say, well, no, they're moving me and, I need.
They're building him.
No, he took it and knocked the guy out. And the fight was overseas, if I'm not mistaken, in Japan somewhere. So that just shows you how those old school trainers have these fighters ready, man, to go to war. Even if they 4s and 6s or 8-round fighters, they can step up and fight a champion the next day and beat them. You know what I'm saying? So my man taught me a lot, man. So, a lot of times I see these guys can't fight, man. I just have to call them on it.
Mini Mill, Julius had it right the first time. Valdez gonna have to fight Shakur, not like Mayorga, but like Salido. Especially if you study Salido versus Lomachenko, he just need to be in his chest, be on his ass to where he can't get them hands moving. Because once
Ref's not looking, hit him in the nuts.
Exactly, because once them hands get moving, Valdez going to end up looking like Jamel Harry. You just gonna have to sit there and watch his ass get whooped until the ref go, all right, man, cut this shit off.
And man, look, Jason, hold on, Jason, okay. That is facts, brother. A lot of these black YouTubers and Twitter guys be doing that with these guys to get views. And look, here's the crazy part. I'm not kissing nobody, but I can talk with any of them. We can talk, but these guys do it just to get views. And I mean, that's why I sent a tweet this week. I can't even remember. It was with Art, man. And I said, watch these coons come. Oh, Eddy Reynoso. I said, watch these coons come and come to the rescue and try to protect Eddy Reynoso and say his words were taken out of content. You know what I'm saying? These guys are the worst, man.
A lot of those coons don't even be having channels and make any money. They just want to, I guess, get some validation. I'm like, all right, that's good. I guess if that's what you need in life, but
right. And then say somebody else is capping. But then when he said that I was capping about those guys need to make a statement that, the Lomachenko and Usyk and all those guys. But then when them guys went back to the Ukraine and when they started making comments and everybody, I sent the tweet to him. I said, well, why they ain't why only the black guys capping? Why is that, Slim? Why all the black people is capping, but the Mexicans and the white guys are doing are they really mean it? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at how Canelo Alvarez acts. He literally the only people that have to do extra work are the non-white people. The white people can calmly sit there and await their payday while all the niggas and other Mexican people, y'all have to do something. Y'all got to make some moves. Y'all have to do extra. It's just like how it is in the workforce. White people just get to go and walk right into the job and make all the bread. But black people, they got to show something extra. Well, where did you go to school? What did you study for? Right. Let me see your portfolio. I'm going to call all your previous employers and pull your productivity numbers from your last few jobs. And then the numbers don't add up to double what we got over here. We're not even going to get, it's basically that's how he acts. So I'm not saying that Canelo and his team are racist, but the moves that they make are basically show that the black people have to jump through more hoops since Mayweather and his fans mimic that. That's the bad thing about copying whatever Canelo does, because when he makes an anti-black move and you copy him, you look suspect.
And also, I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna go out on the limb and say I don't believe Eddy Reynoso is prejudiced. I mean, I don't know about prejudice. I don't think he's racist at all. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that Eddy Reynoso would probably work with black fighters if they ever came to him. I don't know how Canelo would take that. You get what I'm
Nah,
saying?
Canelo
But
would have to retire. He
yeah,
wouldn't do
yeah,
that
like
with Canelo
Canelo, I
in
don't
there.
think that he would
Yeah.
roll with that. You know what I'm saying? But
I
Eddie
don't-
Reynoso definitely would. Look, Robert Garcia, them guys would definitely work with a top black fighter. You got to think, man.
I don't
Those
know.
guys are into Robert Garcia will 100% work with a black fighter. You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't say he won't races. I say he would work with a black fighter. You know what I'm saying, man?
It just
These guys,
depends. It just
any
depends.
trainer will work with talent. Trust
Well,
me.
it just depends because not only do you have to deal with the energy, but the thing is, let's say you have an all-time black, let's say you have a quality black talent like Boots or like a Spencer or Crawford or some shit, and they get in there and they spar all your people and then they leave you. You just created something dangerous.
Did he say Rashad Evans? You talking about the MMA fighter?
Wait, what? I said Boots in it.
No. Pablo said that Canelo works with Rashad Evans, and you talking about the UFC fighter?
Oh, Rashid. Oh man, who gives a fuck?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that don't even make sense.
Canelo works with Ronald Ellis, and he ain't shit. So
Right.
it's like, dude, that's
a sparring partner.
See, that's why I'm glad I said what I said. I said a black talent like Spence, Bud, Boots, or something like that. Ronald Ellis is a nigga I could find down the street.
Absolutely.
Ronald Ellis.
Oh, he been Ellis. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Ronald. And he was wrong all the way around. The guy name is Ronald, not Rashid.
Yeah.
You know
See, look, you don't even know the motherfucker. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't even know him. You don't even know him. Yeah, he's a nobody. It's really easy to train black nobodies, but you get some talent in there that's sparring all your people, and then they fuck around and leave you. You've just created something dangerous. They now know how all your people fight. And with all due respect, the people under Reynoso, the people under Robert Garcia, the people under Joel Diaz, they all kind of fight the damn same. I mean,
hold on a second, Pablo.
I see them doing the Valdez doing the training, and he's doing the exact same routine as Canelo's doing. But it's like you got to understand, not every fighter fights like that.
Yeah, and also, Pablo, we're gonna keep it clean, bro. Because out of all the talking I did, I ain't called you ignorant, stupid, or nothing. You feel me? Just to let you know that, Pablo.
As Frank Sanchez is okay. Frank Sanchez is a black Cuban. Ronald Ellis, exactly, whatever his name is. Ronald
and
Ellis.
I also said, and here's another thing, Pablo. Pablo called me ignorant when I said that Eddy Reynoso would work with a black fighter. Did I not say that?
Yeah, I'm the one that said he wouldn't work with a quality.
And like I say, watch the ignorant stuff. I said that Reynoso would train a black fighter. I said he would train talent. I said Canelo might have a problem, may feel threatened with him, training a black fighter.
And also, the thing about Valdez is, if Canelo was at 130, Shakur would beat his ass too. So it's like, what are we talking about? Valdez is gonna try to imitate some shit he saw Canelo do and get fucked up. And like I was saying, I don't think that those. This is where I disagree with Julius. I don't think that those particular trainers would take on a supreme black talent. That's why you got niggas like Ronald Ellis in there. And Frank Sanchez, with all due respect, hasn't proven jack shit. I mean, what? Because he whooped the Jogba slow ass? No, bro, you got to put in some more work than that. I'm not gonna go, like, for example, what's his name? Leonel Pirro. Put Leonel Pirro in there with Frank Sanchez. I bet money Frank Sanchez will come out there thinking different. Not only did you say he was too old, but then you said he's too old to be ignorant like that. And then you named two people that are not high profile at all. Frank Sanchez is already called pillow fisted for a heavyweight that puts on boring fucking fights, and Ronald Ellis is garbage. so it's like,
I didn't even know it was Errol Spence's birthday.
Yeah. I tweeted it today. Yeah, big fish.
Yeah, big fish of the division, man. And I made that post today, dude. They honestly feel like people looking at Spence like he washed up or something.
They
I,
looking at the accident, man,
I hope
in
Ugas.
the eye.
I hope Ugas think that too. I really do. I hope he comes at it like Spence isn't, 100%. I hope he comes at it nice and reckless so he can get smoked.
Hey, he too conservative, and that's gonna be the issue with Ugas the rest of his career. And that's actually a problem and an issue with all Cuban fighters that I have seen here recently. Not Julio Gonzalez, who was a big puncher and tried to get guys out of there, but all the Cuban fighters, strong Cuban fighters now, I'm talking about with a name, Lara, Ugas, Sanchez, those guys want to box. Luis Ortiz want to punch, but I'm saying those guys right there, Ugas play it safe. So he won't come out and try to expose Earl Spence. He gonna try to box. Watch what I tell you. He gonna try to box.
No, I
You think
believe
Errol
you.
gonna stop him?
I
I
hope he do.
think
'Cause he
no,
talking all
because
that
Ugas
shit.
ain't gonna sell out. Ugas just gonna wrap up and put a tight guard on and lose 12 rounds.
Did
The
y'all hear
And
only
he got
Spence
the
say,
leads working
"Oh
on.
man"? Y'all hear Spence say, "Oh man, I think that Ugas beat Sean Porter."
Yeah, I heard. That's only because Sean Porter talk a lot of shit about Spence. That's why he said that. Because I personally, I don't really care for Sean Porter, but I think he beat Ugas. But yeah, and I heard that, and that's fair because a lot of people say that shit. I mean, I trust Earl Spence's opinion better than my own. It's my opinion, so I'm gonna stick to it.
Shit, who had a better performance regardless of the loss, Spence or Ugas versus
Had to
Definitely,
be
Porter?
Spence.
yeah. Not
I
only did he
mean,
drop him, but he landed cleaner punches.
Who got
Whereas,
hit more?
wait, what?
Who got hit more,
um,
Spence
no,
or
think
Ugas?
it was still Ugas. And here's another thing: that knockdown that you're talking about, he hit Sean Porter on the shoulder, so he called it a slip. It could
Yeah,
have
I
went
seen
either
that.
way.
I seen that.
Yeah, it was on the shoulder.
No, I
I
mean,
gave it to Sean Porter about 2 rounds last time I scored it.
yeah, I gave it to Sean Porter too, specifically because Ugas, like I always say, he smothers his work. He throws a lot of punches low because he puts off the like whenever someone gets too close to him, he automatically snaps out the double hooks to the body. He lands them low and he punches he misses a lot of his punches when he's trying to do overhand rights and left hooks. He'll miss a lot of his punches to where they were going behind Sean's head and over his shoulders and wasn't actually connecting. So that's Ugas' fault. He started panicking whenever Sean would rush in and didn't get quality punches in. I
Man,
mean,
y'all hear my bro Brandon last night though. He said, "Man, I wouldn't bet against anybody that's training in that dude's camp,
Ismail
Ugas camp."
Salas,
What you
Ismail
talking about?
Salas
Because
is
of steroids?
no, because if Salas is a good trainer, he's good at rehabbing fighters that have had troubled experiences and getting them into the system. I
Yeah,
will, I,
matchmaking.
I will say this: Ismail Salas is very good. He has an uncanny ability to get fighters to his system, and even no matter how old they are, to adopt the moves. Like for example, getting people like Adames to shoot out the Cuban double jab and stuff like that. But however, I will say a lot of his fighters have already had a lot of coaching development and been through some stuff before they get to him, and that wear and tear always shows up in their fights. And like some of the situations he named, like Adames versus Deverenchenko, that wasn't like a real upset. Deverenchenko was like 36, 37, had already been in three fucking
Absolutely.
wars. He fought Danny Jacobs, Triple G, and then
And
Jamal
Charlo beat him
Charlo.
up real bad.
Yeah, like he fought those dudes in that order. So I picked Deverenchenko, but I was expecting Adames to I wasn't expecting Adames to lose. I just wanted Deverenchenko to win because I thought then he might actually fight Jaime Munguia, but he got his ass beat. So
Also, also too, man, Freddie Roach is another guy. I mean, it takes something to train a ready-made guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see it happening in basketball and all type of sports where guys that are teams that are ready to win a title or go get this guy. But another guy took them when they were garbage and led them to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But Salas is a good trainer. I just think that matchmaking got everything to do with it. Because think about this. Even if a guy done a tremendous job training a guy, if they lose, nobody said the trainer did a great job.
Yeah, and I believe Salas was with Ugas in some of his losses as well, like including Porter and
How about Amir Imam?
I don't know if he goes back that far, but I mean he got a majority decision off of Abel Ramos, so it's like
Right.
let's not all of a sudden make him look like the ultimate badass over here. I mean,
I think it's because he's matching them
Who
up
said?
against a guy that
Oh,
they think
Jason.
is done.
and
That's why.
like I said, I hope to God they have that approach. I really do, because it's going to be a short night if they do that. If they treat Errol Spence like he's Errol Spence, then they have a shot. If they go in with that mentality that they're just going to run him over, Ugas is going to get
They
fucked up.
looking at like, oh, this ain't the nigga from 2017 that everybody was scared of. Keith Thurman was scared of.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hope they go through with that. I mean, because knowing damn well that Ugas got like what 12 knockouts to his name. I'm not the type. I'm not the type of nigga to say, you know, it's because I always say that it's boxing, not knockout. But if you want to definitively outbox Errol Spence, you're gonna have to discourage him with some damn power. Because if you don't, he gonna ride you, and it's gonna be over with, bro. And Andy Ruiz's career got worse. Pablo, his career got fucking worse. He went from being a unified champion under Manny Robles to some garbage getting beat up by Areola under Eddy Reynoso. That's why we didn't bring it up, because it makes Eddy Reynoso look bad. Yeah. This is exactly what I be talking about. Y'all make them look worse than they already do. This is why they do not talk to you. They will not go on your YouTube channels and come talk to you because they think y'all dumb. Like, and another thing is, I wanted to point out the Canelo Alvarez situation and the Ryan Garcia and the rest of them. It highlights a critical importance about the work ethic involving the two different people. Like, because Canelo and Reynoso are actually from Mexico. So they ain't about all this playing around Hollywood safe bullshit. They fight for real. They fight for some bread. They've been in the situation where this is their ticket out of dangerous ass Mexico. Ryan is from Victorville. He playing around. He putting shit on tape. He getting lazy. Andy Garcia. Andy Ruiz got one good paycheck and decided to get his fat ass back on the lazy journey that he was on, which is why he immediately lost the belt in the second fight. Canelo and Reynoso ain't tolerating that shit. That's why I think they 86 Ryan to crack the whip on these bitches and get them in line, because they're fucking lazy. He's like, look, this is not playtime. You want to come over here, you do what you were doing back at your other fucking gyms. But this we here to get bread out here. This is the shit. We here to put in work. So that's why all of a sudden you see them training and ain't no more bullshitting other than ain't no more pizza, ain't no more fucking social media, TikTok every 5 seconds. They here to put in work. We here to get titles. We here to whoop ass. And all of a sudden, after Ryan Garcia leave, you see both of them niggas training full time. Like, shit, and I don't want that to be me. Shit, I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna jump this rope.
Because I was hearing things. They said Canelo was even talking about Ryan Garcia. I mean, Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, of course Canelo's in there talking shit. He's like, you motherfuckers are lazy, and y'all making me look bad.
But my thing is, dude. Let's keep it 100. Your coach told the world that African Americans are very difficult to beat, man. He's not focused on Valdez right now, dude. What can you... It just makes you feel like it's a fraud, because how can you win Trainer of the Year, but you telling the world that you can't come up with the right game plan to beat Shakur Stevenson or any... You know what I'm saying? It's looking like you ain't trying to fight no black tough fighters. Because you couldn't come up with the game plan to beat motherfucking Floyd Mayweather. Was Reynoso training Canelo around that time?
Yeah, Reynoso's been with him his entire career. And another thing is that Reynoso couldn't come up with a game plan to beat Triple G. And Triple G didn't bring shit to the table but a jab.
Well,
exactly.
Hey, man, you got to, like I've always said, man, it's hard for black fighters to get used to black fighters. First of all, it's going to be hard for a non-black fighter. Black fighters got a certain rhythm, and you got to find that rhythm. That's why Canelo's in no hurry. He done went through that. It's an adjustment. Even fighting a guy like Danny Jacobs, that's not the slickest or the best chin fighter out there, most aggressive, whatever. He had, you know what I'm saying, he had a certain degree of rhythm that threw off Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And he just don't want to go through that no more. He don't want to fight the Trouts no more. He don't want to fight Mayweather's. He don't want to fight Charlo and that jab. You know what I'm saying? He'll fight these guys after a bad performance or after a situation where it looked like this guy ain't the same fighter no more. Then he'll fight him.
Apparently not, because I swear to God, Canelo fans bring up Montiel so much, you would think Montiel is their favorite fucking fighter. Because every single time they talk about that Montiel garbage, and at first we all thought what you were saying is true, but apparently not. Even with the Montiel situation, Canelo like, nah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think.
Nah.
He got to choose between Bivol and Charlo. Bivol's a good fighter, but he look at it like, look, I'm gonna have the deck stacked in this fight. I'm not saying he's gonna blow Bivol out or that Bivol's not worthy of a fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he can stack the deck in that fight. Who Bivol has that, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about promoter or whatever that's got his back. Like Al Heyman is there in a Canelo situation. So you're not going to stack the deck totally on Charlo. But in this situation, Bivol out there by himself.
Well, shit, if the deck was stacked on Plant, them cards was some bullshit.
But here's the thing. Plant won't trying to win anyway. He won't trying to win. All Caleb Plant wanted to do was be Canelo friend.
Yeah, that ninth round talking was that really it was funny too, because like I don't know what ESPN was thinking or whatever, but they released that footage like it was gonna like look good. It's like, that makes this whole thing look like some bullshit, right? Like I was just thinking to myself, like, y'all know this makes the whole fight look like some bullshit. Because ain't nobody got time for this. Even Mayweather wasn't doing all that talking, and he was whooping his ass. Like, come on,
exactly.
Bro.
Could we talk about how fucking boring that press conference was, though? Let's keep it 100, man.
Which press conference?
Shit. The Bivol.
The fucking Bivol Canelo shit. Like, I didn't know this nigga Bivol don't speak English.
No, I never heard him say anything.
Yeah, and this is the fight y'all talking about? What the fuck, man?
He speaks zero English, bro. He speaks none. And keep in mind, the only reason why motherfuckers are even comfortable with this fight happening, because people did not want Canelo to see Bivol originally, but that's because Bivol looked kind of vulnerable against Craig Richards, that British black dude. Right. So now people are like, oh, okay, yeah, Bivol cool. Like, now it's like, oh, okay. Now that we've seen,
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, it's all on it's on YouTube at this point, or you might have to go to another website to watch it. But it was a DAZN fight. It was Bivol's fight before this last one that he took with Salamov. Salamov, he whooped his ass 12-0, but Craig Richards was getting some work in, so people were like, oh, okay, so he can be touched. Okay, good. So now people are okay with the fight happening.
Funny, but you're right, Jason. But yeah, man. Bivol or Canelo. I mean, to be honest, neither one of them is entertaining. Like Canelo say one curse word and people go crazy. How is that entertainment?
Well, that's not people. Those are fucking
right.
Those are 17, those are 16, 17-year-old dudes who will buy a jar of Canelo's fucking farts. Those are weirdos.
But D-Hive, some of these dudes I be debating and arguing with be grown.
Okay, well that shit is weird.
Pablo them was grown.
Okay, well some of these niggas need a better class of father figure in their life, because that shit is creepy. Talking about, oh my god, he's already up on the cards. He totally dominated the press conference. TKO knockout. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He said. Remember when they thought that he dodged Killer Plant smack? And everybody's talking like, yeah, look at him. His reflexes is so good. And then he rewinded, and it showed that he really slapped Canelo. And it was like, well, that was nothing.
It was funny. It was funny as fuck, because the first people to leak that photo was actually the glove maker Grant. And then I copied it from Instagram and put it out there. And the people were like, whoa, shit. But it was funny because our man was riding the Plant hype train real hard during the buildup, and people started to put the steroid accusations on Plant because they saw that Plant. They were like, oh shit, okay, well what if he's on roids? I was like, oh my god, y'all getting nervous. Look at this bullshit. Oh,
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I do have that effect where I'm able
you,
to convince
you,
the people like, oh shit, because even during that Wilder situation, dude, a lot of the people from UK were sending me fucking screenshots of all the money they betted on Wilder.
well, that was
I was
that was
like, you
a
niggas.
well, that was a more believable situation because the nigga had 40 knockouts. What else we supposed to think gonna happen? Whereas
Yeah,
Plant,
and also them British guys are used to their fighters coming over here in big fights against Americans getting knocked out. All of them except maybe Lennox Lewis. And hey, he got knocked out.
yeah,
So,
he got
you
slept.
know,
So
he got slept though. You know, it was in South Africa, but it was to an American fighter. But you know,
yeah, yeah, so the Wilder situation I don't even talk about because that fight was 50-50. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because the dude had knocked out 40 motherfuckers. This guy admitted he knocked him unconscious. So that I don't even count that. That fight could have went either way. And Wilder was being cheated heavily. But the Plant situation, the dude was like 22 fights in, had like 12 knockouts. It's like, come on. How much
But what you said, D Hive, man, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to take that and put that on the timeline tomorrow.
wait, what the fuck I say?
You said, why is it all the Canelo's opponents, their first step up a fight is always Canelo?
Oh
right,
yeah, that's real shit. Like
right.
even
And they
like
don't get the same excuse.
yeah, that's like what I said about fucking why we're built different. I said Canelo's first 168 fight was fucking Rocky Fielding. If the Charlo news is real, Charlo's first 168 fight will be Canelo Alvarez. We're not the fucking same. We are
Not the
not the
same.
same.
That's
Not the
facts,
same
man.
at all.
We not. We
That
not
is fact.
y'all. This is why we talk our shit. Cause win or lose, we gonna be here. Y'all the ones that need all this political protection and steroids and all that bullshit. And if y'all want to be proud about that, okay, cool. But like for example, look at Colbert right now.
Why y'all the only group defending steroid use? Why
Right.
we not defending it?
Mm.
Even the Russians and British people don't defend that shit. They call Tyson Fury a scumbag. They just happy he beat a black dude. That's all. They don't like him either. They can't stand
None
Tyson
of them be
Fury.
like, Nangelo ain't a pad.
Yeah, they just go, yeah, he cheated, but he whooped Wilder's ass. Now what? That's
Hey, you know what's so crazy, yo? I
Mhm.
watched this Beaver Richard fights before. I'm watching the highlights right now,
okay.
and I ain't gonna lie to you, D Hive. Look, I don't know if Beaver could go if he go beat Canelo, man.
I
Only way he
mean,
not beat Canelo is some Marquez knockout shit, man.
but that's
The only
everybody.
way.
That's everybody. Bivol can win the fight and not get the W. We've
Well,
seen that already.
well, here's the thing. Bivol and all these guys, man, they have to be aggressive with Canelo. Um, unless you somebody that can just, beat him with a jab and he can't touch you. Other than that, man, the best thing to do is to go out there and really fight. But if he gonna go out there and his only attribute is going out there trying to throw a jab and moving around and folding up, now he don't even deserve to win. These guys got to get out of this respect for a guy. It's like if they hit him, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna get fined. You end the fight to fight. Fight.
I think Bivol will scrap. I think Canelo will push the scrap out of him and put him in a situation where he actually has to press on the gas. I think if Bivol's in a situation where he feels like he's being embarrassed when it comes to boxing, I feel like he'll actually dig in and scrap.
Well, that's what he need to do
Because
right from the
honestly,
beginning.
the reputation of Russian fighters has been tarnished with the Kovalev bullshit. But Kovalev was old and he wasn't getting paper like that, so that's whatever. I hope because Bivol is young and has at least 5 solid years more fighting, 5 to 8 years more fighting, I'll be getting here and scrap for it. I'll be really getting here and say, man, fuck what they was talking about in that back room. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Let me see your guys' thoughts on Canelo saying those fighters don't offer him nothing and saying they need to fight each other to get the winner.
Well, again,
yeah,
we touched on that. I never seen the fighters of past that was in Canelo's situation, and what I mean by that is a guy that is actually, great for people to want to fight you, and all that. This fighter offered me nothing. Look, man, before the money, it's a sport. It's a sport. Just because you got a name doesn't mean that another person, because their name ain't as big as yours, is unworthy. That's stupid talk. That's stupid talk. And thank God throughout the history of boxing, all guys that were in Canelo position didn't have that same mindset. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear George Foreman at the time tell Ernie Shavers, "Hey man, you don't do nothing for my career," because we wouldn't have got one of the greatest fights ever. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
we would have called duck sauce on that shit. We were like, hey,
yeah,
that
right.
smell like duck sauce.
So
What are you doing?
I feel uneasy when guys start talking like that, man. And like I say, if you talk about guys need to fight each other, then you need to fight the absolute best. So if you okay, all right, the Bivol fight ain't happened yet, so I can't. I'm gonna have to hold judgment on that until afterwards. But I don't want to see Canelo fight another Rocky Fielding or Yurdam and then tell another guy like Benavidez or Charlo that they offer nothing, because those guys offer nothing, and you still fought them.
And that's my thing. Canelo would have a point if he didn't already have a career fighting like nobody ass dudes. Angulo did nothing. Kirkland did nothing. Fielding did nothing. Bo Smith brothers did nothing. Saunders did nothing. Plant did nothing. Fucking McAbooty did nothing. Like a lot of these people have done nothing, and they haven't.
And the fact, like, this is crazy. Like, Canelo fans, y'all cool with him being y'all could see his future fights, and it's garbage. Bivol, Triple G, John Ryder, McAboo, and y'all.
John Ryder.
If he fight Ryder, bro. Oh my God.
Hold up, that one got me. Now I can understand Bivol. Because as of right now, Bivol got a decent reputation in boxing. Okay. He ain't looked at as a super world killer, but he's not looked at as a bum. But the John Ryder situation, that one, that's a bum fight right there.
And keep in mind, Jacobs is one of the only fighters that Canelo gets credit for. And look at how it's aging. It's aging like garbage. That's why I put on Twitter. I was like, okay, so Danny Jacobs just lost to John Ryder in a robbery, but he was getting touched up some. And then I said, so how much credit are we giving Triple G and Canelo for the Jacobs win? Because look at this shit. I mean, look at the Rosado fight. How much credit do we give these niggas like for fucking Jacobs? Like people were talking about Jacobs like he was some fucking monster right after he lost to Triple G. And look at this motherfucker. He's gone up in weight and got worse. So how much credit are we giving him?
I agree.
Like it's crazy.
Hey, I wanted to also touch on the Tyson Fury and Dillian White situation.
What's going on with them?
Okay, the fight done real well as far as selling out Wembley Stadium. They ain't sold it out, but they sold like 80,000 tickets. So that was good. And Dillian White didn't do any press conference, and it didn't hurt nothing. Now, I've seen all these people get up there and say that Dillian White is wrong for not doing the press conference and this and that. It took away nothing from the fight. Nothing.
And also, just for context, official reports dictate that the tickets were sold from a low of, I believe, 55 pounds to a high of 2,500 pounds.
Hold up. That's how it always is over in the you know what I'm saying, in England, Australia. It's never, boxing is only super expensive in America. Right. That's why people want to come to America, because of the money. Now they can pull the numbers. That's why I didn't say it brought in a whole lot of money. No, it had the numbers as far as people. And another thing, Wembley Stadium holds 100,000 fans. And if we can sell tickets, if we sold tickets for $10 to $50, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they'd get numbers like that. Like Errol Spence fight against Ugas.
Errol Spence versus Ugas at the Cowboy Stadium, and the cheapest ticket is $20.
Right,
and
but that's in the nosebleed.
Like $2,000.
Yeah, 20 to 2,000.
Exactly. No, I'm not disagreeing or saying anything you're saying was wrong. I just want people to understand how economics.
Context.
Yeah, I just want people to
Mhm.
understand how economics works. When something is
Yeah,
cheaper, more people can afford to go.
absolutely.
When something is more expensive, less people can afford to go. But however, if you're selling more expensive tickets, the fight that had lesser attendance will sometimes have higher gates. It's just like with black fighters like Tank, they always look at pay-per-view sales and gate. But when it comes to Canelo on the zone or any of these other guys, it's just how many people. It's just how many people showed the fuck up. It's like, well, nah. If the tickets don't
Right.
cost shit, anybody can go. I
So,
can, you know.
so if he get 100,000 buys or 75,000 buys, it's not going to get reported either. And here's
Oh my
another thing:
God,
they
here
could just
come
lie
Lopez,
about the
man.
numbers.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let me hit this shit real quick because this is.
Pablo says, wait a second. Caleb Smith didn't have anything to offer Canelo, being ranked number one in division at the time. Ring magazine belt, winning Super Six tournament means nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means nothing after doing all that and then fucking losing to John Ryder.
Yeah. But
How the
let
hell
me.
you think
Right.
we even know John Ryder today?
Right.
Because he
Sound
Yeah.
like
really
Josh
beat
Taylor.
Smith.
But you know how I can tell they repeat after each other because they repeat each other's fuck ups. It wasn't a Super Six tournament; it was the World Boxing Super Series. And
Right.
the reason why you guys keep calling it the Super Six tournament is
Because
because
that's what Andre Ward won.
well, no, it's because Max Kellerman, when he was trying to big up Callum Smith on some bullshit, he fucked up and called it the Super Six tournament. So
Right.
all the morons who claim that they don't listen to Max Kellerman use the same fucking quote, and that's how I know you guys repeat after each other because y'all
Where
repeat
the
each
hell
other.
is Max Kellerman at?
He exactly. Who gives a shit? But they still listen to his ass. And then Steve, Kim, Montero, they all said the
Thanks,
same thing.
Jason.
Yeah, the Steve, Kim, and Montero, they all said the same thing.
And
They're always like, oh, he won the Super Six like Ward. He won the Super Six
the
like Ward.
super, and again, the Super Six winner was Andre Ward. When
Thank
they
you.
had Andre Ward, Carl
Yeah,
Froch, Andre
yeah.
Yeah,
Darrell.
yeah. Callum Smith won the
Facts,
world.
Jason.
Callum Smith won the
Yeah, that's
World
facts,
Boxing Super
Jason.
Series where he was fighting fucking professional, where like he was fighting dudes that did kickboxing part time. So I don't want to hear none of that shit. And not to mention, bro, also, BoxRec has Callum Smith ranked number one at 175 and he has no belt. What the fuck are these rankings worth? What are the rankings worth? What are we doing here? And the
The
thing is,
rankings are worth on any potential Canelo fight that they want to make
exactly.
happen.
And you want to talk about something, Demetrius Andrade is an undefeated champion at 160 and would have gotten Canelo two-time undisputed in the four belt era, which is actual history being made. But instead, he settled to go for what five other dudes have already done against better competition.
Hey,
That,
matter of fact, Art
Canelo got
Man, I
all these
gotta
things.
ask your permission on this, Art Man. Is it okay to talk about something that went on another show?
One
The
second, let me
interview
say
with
something.
Boo Boo Andre. Go ahead.
yeah,
Okay. We gonna speak on it. I just gotta say this one last statement. Canelo got all these belts, but never locked into a hard ass mandatory. Why is that?
never.
But they
Oh yeah,
talk about Earl Spence not having a mandatory,
Why they never
even though
say,
he
"Oh,
fought former
Canelo got 30 days to make a fight with David Morrell"?
because
Why is
their
there never no shit like that?
because their families will come up fucking missing.
Shit.
He ain't fighting no David Morrell.
Hell no, because the moment
That's
and
a
you notice
live fight right there.
and you notice people didn't even bring it up knowing that David Morrell is the regular belt holder at 168. People don't even talk about it. All the
They
usual
don't.
all the usual fucking racists and all that bullshit. They don't even say David Morrell Jr.'s fucking name. They don't even want Benavidez fighting David Morrell Jr. that's
They
that's
don't.
that's how serious it is. They don't
But they
even
want David Benavidez to fight a nigga from a whole nother weight class.
they want him to fight a dude from 154. They don't even mention David Benavidez and Morrell's name in the same sentence. Because I knew
Not
Morrell would
even
take.
close.
Yeah, because Benavidez is strong, but he can't box like that. Morrell beat his
No,
ass.
but you know what? They're gonna
And
end up fighting.
and David
Morrell and
Benavidez
Benavidez gonna
team
end up
already
fighting.
fights out here. David Benavidez team already fights out here.
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't
not
see
going.
Rayo fight out here. Keaton fought in Minneapolis a couple times.
Hey,
Not,
speaking of Minneapolis, you gonna be at the fight when
Yeah,
Zoo
hell yeah, I'm
fight?
going to that fight.
All
Hell
right.
yeah. Y'all go, man. I'm gonna do some live coverage over there. I don't know if I'm gonna do a live because that shit make my phone that fast. But I'm gonna be there most definitely getting some good footage on that shit, man.
No doubt.
What if
That's
what if Zoo
it.
knocked Gasha out, man? I'm like, yo,
That's gonna be a
shit.
fun fight.
Zoo is putting in legitimate work. He trying to make a fan out of me because if he
That's
comes,
what his dad did, though. That's
yeah,
what his dad did. His
and-
dad was a Russian, first of all, Russian fighting out of Australian, but he made his thing. He turned pro. He went into Top Rank office and told them, hey, I want to fight in America. I don't want to fight at home. So if you look at his record, I don't know how many fights he had, but he didn't have a lot of overseas fights. His last fight was, I believe, when he lost to Ricky Hatton. But his dad did the exact same thing. And here's another thing about his dad. His dad would take on black fighters and with no problem. He'll fight a slick black fighter. He'll fight a power puncher. He'll fight a boxer puncher. Costa Zoo would do it all. He didn't care. He didn't care. The only guy he ducked was Oscar De La Hoya. Funny, but it's true. And he ducked Floyd Mayweather. But everybody else, he fought.
yeah, I wouldn't have fought Oscar at 135 either.
Well, it was at 140. Costa was 140.
All right, 140. Yeah, no, Oscar was fucking.
Yeah.
He was demolishing everybody.
And he didn't want to move up to 47 and fight it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I really do. I like the energy, and you're right. They're a mixture. It's weird because Costa Zoo's dad is Korean and Mongolian, and his mom is Russian. So,
Right.
but that's why they're not pussy because they're not Australian.
Right.
they're Russians and Mongols. They descend from conquerors, not pussy motherfuckers who get big off killing the natives, like they
Right.
some shit like that. They're from actual warrior style, which makes sense. So yeah, I like it. And I like Terrell Gassé, but bruh, that's dangerous.
And he got his wife in the corner, so I'm rooting for Terrell in that.
Oh wait, Gassé's wife is in the corner.
Yeah, she like his nutritionist and something else. Yeah.
Oh, so she's not coaching
Gouche
him, right?
has like
no,
a weird
no,
career
she's not
to-
training him.
He,
No.
ha- he
thank
has a
God.
weird career to me. It's like he don't really say too much. I haven't even seen I've never really even seen an interview of him with anybody.
Yeah, he's a
And he
quiet
just-
guy. But
and he just comes up and fight.
Yeah, he was an Olympian. He was in the Olympic trials and stuff, and he's a quiet guy.
Yeah,
You know.
he's not a puncher.
Out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's not a puncher. He's a good boxer, but he only has 2 losses, and he's never had like his ass thoroughly whooped. So he doesn't have like a lot of miles on him.
Right. Lubin got him.
Yeah. Lubin got some good shots in, but that was like the first time where somebody was actually like working him over. But he had Lubin on skates for a hot minute though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He definitely did.
Lubin had to rethink some decisions.
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
into that fight, he had to rethink some stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the only thing that worried me about Lubin against Fedora.
Yeah.
Fedora can make that an ugly fight.
Oh God,
Me too.
I'm so worried. Like, what if the first round?
And you can hear Coach Cunningham. What are you doing in there, son?
Yeah,
You need to go and knock this motherfucker out.
Hey, Kevin Cunningham, I love it, man. But he knows that it's a dangerous fight. But I think he's gonna have, a good game plan. I think he's gonna have a good game plan, man.
I like Cunningham too, but I'm not sure he can. I'm not sure he's the type of coach that can coach fighters when they're in trouble. Because I look at the Jaffard fight with Joe Smith Jr. I look at Escudero versus Paul George. The first fight people say Escudero won, but the second fight he got fucking destroyed. And then also I'm looking at Lubin's. Lubin only has 1 L, so that I get. But I don't know, man. Like if he gets in trouble, is Cunningham gonna be able to talk him back from the brink? And
Well, hey, man, Cunningham did a great job dating back to Corey Spinks, Devin Alexander. When he had Devin was one of the most feared guys at junior welterweight. Only really lost to Tim Bradley, when he was in his prime. Beat up Marcos Maradona. But look, man, Kevin is a good trainer for him. But, Lubin Chin is the only thing that has prevented him from really being a superstar in boxing because the guy, the way he put his punches together, the way he hit guys, he should be a superstar. But his chin, man, you never know.
I don't even think it feel like more of like his brain or something, dude. Because that whole neurological thing, like when he start like his legs get to moving like that, I feel like
Yeah,
it's more to your
it's
chin.
neurological, man. He every guy, and this is what make boxing so good. You don't know what's going on in a person's brain when they get hit. Like it ain't about heart, it ain't about none of that. It could be something that goes on when he get hit that short circuits him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't no other way to
Yeah,
put
no,
it.
real shit.
Yeah,
I think it's something when he get hit, his body short circuits.
it's what's called.
It's shame.
It's called getting punched in the goddamn head.
But,
I mean,
but what I'm saying is the punches that he get caught with are not punches that should be like I like. Here's the crazy part. I've seen him get hit flush with shots, and it don't hurt him. But he get hurt. Like, look at the shot that Charlo knocked him out with. That's not
I'm looking at that right
in
now.
the way that he couldn't get up and was struggling and short circuiting. Man, that's something neurological that eventually in his career is going to end his career.
yeah, I think
That's what I was saying. I was saying the same thing because it's like it's a difference between getting hit in your chin and you just fall to the ground.
Right.
But no, when your legs start to like you about to, you know what I'm saying, bust out, start breakdancing and shit, then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's
something
short
else.
circuit. Right. Something going on neurological.
I think they need to keep Lubin far the fuck away from Charles Conwell because boy.
No doubt.
Oh God.
Because AJ got I feel like AJ got it too.
I don't think that's AJ's situation. I think AJ's situation is more so a lack of heart, and also it's heavyweight. So pretty much everybody.
It's a guy, a Spanish, a white Spanish guy named Augie Sanchez. They used to call him Kid Vegas, right? And Augie's a trainer now, but Augie Sanchez reminds me of Lubin, not physical. They two different. One is a short white Mexican, but he was a great amateur, could really fight. Not Prince Nassim down. But his chin just let him, down so much. And then Prince Nassim took him out on a stretcher. But I'm just saying, like, I can see someone doing that to Lubin. And as much as I love Lubin, I can see that happening. Like, he could fight, like a fight against somebody like Bud Crawford or Earl Spence.
Oh,
look, Lubin may be outboxing him, but they're going to stretch him out.
Well, yeah. I mean, talking about.
So, what do y'all rate this? What do y'all rate this Lubin fight? Lubin versus Fedor.
Great
50-50?
It's 50-50 only because of the chin.
Well, and also this nigga 6'6", okay? He's giraffe hunting with a 9mm, so he gotta get some heavy shots in early. Definitely go to the body and get out of the way of that damn jab. Because sometimes
that's a good analogy, D-Hive.
Yeah, because this motherfucker 6'6", and the thing is with Lubin, they know that this is
Fedor don't really jab.
Well,
Fedor just get on the inside and fight. But the thing is about him is that when you think you're safe, when you think you out of range, his arms are long enough to hit you. That's the problem. That's the problem that you got fighting Fedor is that in some fights you can rest by moving away back in the distance. You don't know the distance because of how long his arms are.
And also they might have adjusted their strategy knowing that Lubin is their most dangerous opponent. He's the most skilled. He's the most powerful. So all of a sudden he might decide to switch it up, and Lubin's got to be able to adapt and push forward on the inside without worrying about his chin the whole damn fight because he's just going to sit there and lose the damn decision, get him poked at by this damn thing.
Right. But I wanted to touch on the interview they had over there on the Chicken Talk. So
Lord.
I listened in to some because I wanted to hear the questions that they asked, and I got to give it to MBO. He asked Boo Boo's a great question, and Boo Boo starts stuttering You know, you know what I'm saying? I tweeted it.
What?
He asked him, hey, this is your final fight. And then what he started stuttering when he asked him, well, you've been up for the Canelo fight. How do you feel with Eddie Hearn giving it to those European fighters when you was right there and you never can get any of the big guys? And then so basically, you know, he starts stuttering and he started talking about this being his last fight, you know what I'm saying, with
Man.
Matchroom. And you know, he really didn't say much, but I think he's gone. I really think he's gone. So much so Eddie Hearn did an interview saying that he felt like Boo Boo was gone. Somebody tweeted me and DM me saying that I shouldn't have said nothing about stuttering because he can't say much. And I said to them, this is last fight with Matchroom, yet this fight isn't even promoted by Matchroom. So he really is gone from Matchroom.
Frank
He doesn't
Warren
have to watch his words. He could do like Bud Crawford did. His last fight, he said, I'm gone. I ain't re-signing.
He said
you have a right to do that.
Yeah, he said you couldn't do shit for me. But here's the thing, though. Stop. I can't stand these fucking dudes because I know who you're talking about. You guys are not the fucking police. This is no serious, bro. These people get on my motherfucking nerves. Just be. I understand that show was incredibly successful on Twitter. That's perfectly fine. But you guys are not the police. We can ask whatever the fuck we want to ask. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about, man. Fuck you. God, I get so tired. Hey, you shouldn't be asking questions right here. All after, man, shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. Jesus Christ!
What happened?
I mean, like, bro, like he's trying to ask. Julius is just talking in general about the shit. I'm chiming in. Some other, I don't even remember who. But
yeah, I got DM'd and stuff like that. But let me say this too. And I get that with you know, in the basketball, baseball, football thing, guys say, hey man, especially this big thing we got going on with the Georgetown thing, it actually can relate to what we talking about in boxing. Except this right here. And this is how bad coons are, man. And I'm about to throw names out there, but I'm not calling this person a coon, okay? Not calling this person a coon, but what I'm saying is that sometimes people do coonery things, okay? For example, Duke basketball team, Mike Krzyzewski, right? So Patrick Ewing is a top 50 player of all time. Everybody heard of him, right?
Yeah.
But you don't lead people to Patrick Ewing where he coaching. You lead them to Mike Krzyzewski and Duke. You get what I'm saying? And then when Duke have this dynamite record because they got an all-black team that's out there killing them, and Georgetown sucked, or this team sucked because they can't get the top players because you got Kobe Bryant or LeBron James leading guys to Duke University instead of leading them to somewhere else. And that's the part that I don't understand, man. And I'm talking about as a whole with black people, man. We get with these white people with these names, or we get in these situations where people don't want you to say this, to say that. Like D-High was saying, man, forget that. I'm gonna say what I want to say. Somebody told me, man, Kobe Bryant dead, man. Don't say nothing about that. I said, I ain't called Kobe Bryant a coon. I'm talking about a fact. Couple years ago, he was promoting for this guy, Mike Krzyzewski, man. And the next thing you know, Duke start blowing up. They start blowing up. He blew it up for this white guy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I just get so heated whenever people act like you can't have discourse. I'm like, bro, not all of us are gonna have whole Twitter spaces to where we can invite professional fighters. So we're just talking about our fucking experiences, bro. I'm like, you guys shit on fighters all the time, all over Twitter, and they're never around. They're never there. They're like the same people talking shit about you in the Andre situation will openly fucking shit on people like Ugas and Adames and all those people. I'm like, they're not around, dude. This is the internet. Shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. Go fucking raise the next generation of people who work at the car wash or some shit. Because
I just didn't like. My thing
you're not doing shit over here.
I didn't like how people. All the people that said that Andre ain't this, Andre ain't that, was super silent the day he came on, or the day before he came on.
Very respectful, right?
I was in the space I was in the space for like the majority of it, easily 85% of it. There was over 200 people in the space. When I said that the haters was going to show up, everybody thought I was talking about the main individuals that talk on the show. No, some of the main people are Andre haters. That's neither here nor there. I was talking about the general majority that wanted to hear what he had to say. And of course, motherfuckers was in there heavy. They was in there heavy.
And here's the part. I've heard people that be protecting Eddie Hearn and this guy, but when they talked to him, they started saying, "Hey man, how you doing? I took a picture with you at the fight. I love you, man," and da 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 da, and everything was all awesome. Now it was a couple of them, like I said, MVO was one of them, and it was a couple more that went at him. They asked their question that they really wanted to know, man.
They made sure to give one certain person out a mic.
What? Who? What,
well, Crowd. Let me tell you this. Let me answer.
I didn't even request one. I was like, I was just.
I ain't request either. Yeah, I did. Well, they weren't gonna let you ask some questions
too. But I'm glad that you said MVO asked him that question, because that was a question I was gonna ask him if I did get a mic.
Yeah, MVO went right up there, asked him a question. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do no butt kissing with it. He just asked him the question. You know, he was just straight up. Hey,
but it is what it is.
You gotta do, man.
But shit, hey, I gotta end this live, y'all. I gotta
all right, y'all.
Get some rest for the morning.
All right,
but shit,
y'all have a good one.
I noticed the timeline quiet about this situation. They ain't gonna talk about it. The whole reynoso. So whenever they bring it up, that's just gonna be our speaking point. We just gonna bring that up every time.
Hey, we'll catch up.
But,
we got a big weekend anyway. All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Oh yeah, we do.
All right.